for and someone abeto dwa sesi and say ekọ na abusuapanyini kofiusu wonya akwa akopiem wo court na mso mo kire se that room immediate family no any maami akosua sewa omo kire mo omo beye bibi e friend say celebration of life anko for kire mo ye part 2 ema that room na ye nyina nya ntete breaking news na aba ese abusuapanyina court okoye nhwemu so obetumi di injunction atoso na wontumi ni ade a amenura ni odue pie obi e ka ho asem ene ya me na okasai abusuapanyina nya ade nsaman krata akoma that room immediate family ni pa bia wo samai wo mo kire se wo mo ni ho kwan se wo mo ye that room celebration of life no na wo mo the reasons bebebe na aka ho adekodi ani to mo do masema kwa akodan court e kwan so da ho nam so ama ya mo the friends are rate of sermons wo mo so den samai krata no akwa akoma enipa bi na nipa bai e na abusuapanyini kofiusu e samai wo mo e was celebration of life for that room immediate family no e peso wo mo ye no enti breaking news am dey ma mo say abusuapanyina nya court no ema o kire se wo injunction e dia toso wo pekwan a court ni befa so ebesi abusua ne kwan na omuntumi nye sa celebration of life a wo mpese wo mo eye that number eye ni wu echi no madam Roma me sa aka rate of sermons no enenti ya bekenkan nyema binya hu enkofo a abusuapanyi kofiusu saman ene de wo hwehwe e wo court ho se court no enye ni de nti osusu se abusua no entumi that room immediate family no entumi nye celebration of life no anasa ye bia emma that room madam Roma eno wo hase ya ya bekenkan e de amamu abusafo rate no issued from Accra date no 18th February 2026 suit number na ewa ha na we in the High Court of Justice Accra na chere say Accra eno no between na chere say bedi kan ka plaintiff no na afi enkofo mo ye defendant we ka plaintiff a the order na asem e court on saman krata animu no ono na ye plaintiff na obi nso aye saman no abe ye defendant enti krata yi so do ye plaintiff no abusuapanyini kofiusu enti ya tre abusuapanyini kofiusu ni house number nyina wa ha ebuakwa kumase ena o saman enipa mako enan wa ha enti saafo no defendant enipa abusuapanyini kofiusu di kan asaman no eye akosua sewa fusu na ono so yedne house number aba a ewo Germany ewo ha sei ono ye first defendant the otoso eye Robert Jamfi aka Ofaya Opoku Esiofia Kumase enote ono so ye second defendant just obi otoso mienu abusuapanyi kofiusu asaman no the otoso miensa ye Ernestina Fosu ono so ne plot number ewa ha sei na afei ebe de ote bomso Kumase ono ye third defendant ewo krata yi so de oka ho ye Nana Yaw Akosa aka Papa Shi ono so eye fourth defendant sankofo nan nipa nan na abusuapanyi kofiusu kire se obutu anamo bi a etia mra ene amamre a umpeso mo ye bibi e friends celebration of life enti wo motia wo de court say court mfresa nipa no na ebetumi a de ono hwehwe no court ntie na yensi wo mo kwan say nipa na entumi nye bibi e friends celebration of life emma delete that number na me bobo plaintiff ni bi ye no yentie an action having been commenced against you by the issue of this writ by the above named plaintiff na chere say asem we ni do ma twatia wa nyina ne say enkonfo ya bobo mu din so me defendant abusuapanyini asamai wo mo no abusuapanyini kofiusu ye plaintiff e wa asemi mu no wa hye bibi ase e de etia wo mo a no nti ehu behia sese nipa no wo mo bepiem e wo court na wo mo nso ebeyi wo mo ensem ano nti eno no na o say You are hereby commanded that within 8 days after service of this writ on you, inclusive of the day of the service, you do cause an appearance to be entered for you. Eti ebusiafo de say the krata yansa my krata ebra free quarter ɛhɔ de me kan ye kyerɛ sɛ ɛkwan da hɔ sɛ within 8 days a wonsa bɛka free da no a wonsa ɛka nsa my krata no ɛwɔ sɛ wonso wo enter bibia e friend sɛ appearance si sɛ ne obema wa lawyer akoye ana wa obekɔ tumi suma wa utumi ɛkɔ kan lawyer honamako ana obetumi ama lawyer akoye kyerɛ sɛ wudi bua ma court no na wonsa kakrata bia ɛte sa efri Accra High Court nti abusuafo yemra ne emehwe abusuapanyi kofi su court no ensem a wakoka anase niema watwro e de akyere court na eni nti wo mu hu ne se e wo se kwan bia so no abusuapanyi kofi su ehwe se court no enhwe na emra no entwe sa nipa nyina emra megina adakam na anamontuo ni tumi a wo mo so wo mo wo se wo mo ye saade no wo mo etumi etumi ba be kenkan abusuapanyi kofi su any reasons bi any de nti a wakọ court no me ba be kenkan bi akyero na afi hey edion abusuafo any de dikan the friend say statement of claim we plaintiff no de o se bibi ha na enti wode na asem ekwa akodan court na court nhwe na de wo hwehwe no onyema no de o hwehwe no eno ni statement of claim no ne kwadu a wode bo wo de enti a wo se obepiem na okyerechire wonsim no madawroma eno na meba bekan de dikan a declaration that the plaintiff as abusuapanyini of the Ekwana royal family of Paakoso and Insuta has the sole and exclusive authority to organize, supervise, and approve the burial and funeral rites of the late Charles Kojofusu. Abusuapanyini Kofi say, in some my crats anymore. In some bia oka and say, Onunkwa abusuapanyini oye Ekwana abusuapanyini no. Wo Paakoso and Insuta no. Onunkwa ne wotumi se emrama ne kwan se organize ayie afa wo supervise ayie just wo hwe na ayie koso na o approve ogitum se esie ene ayie ebekoso ama Charles Kojofusu. In this case se obi so obeye ayie na nya ono no oye eye busuapanyi Kofi Usu ena eye nya nya ono nso na approve anaso wo hwe amasa esie ne ye na koso a na kire sese ye no ye nyintu efi se ono na ye abusuapanyini ye tosu mienu a declaration that the burial and funeral ceremony held on 13 December 2025 constituted the final and valid funeral rite of the deceased under account customary law. Or say o pema ka se sa esie ene year ekwoso 13 December 2025 afie twem no enu nko ane year twatwo ema Charles Kojofusu that lumba ewo akan amamre mu ene enhwehye mu enti kwaba se no nko ane twatwo de a obi try so wo ye bibi etesa a chese watia emra de to so miensa a declaration that the defendants proposed celebration of life event scheduled for 28th and 29th March 2026 is unlawful, unauthorized, and contrary to Akan customary law. Or say, Ekwaba se obi try defendant no like Charles defendant near the yes haman no the abon kwa do asemi mu no. A propose say nyame ya adomu a 28th ni 29th March agbosumi ayeba besim no wo mo beye bibi a ye friend say a celebration of life ne no abusuapanyi Kofi Usu statement of claim mu e wo sa court nsaman krata iso no o kire say eye unlawful unauthorized na oba akan customary laws no a amamre ne amane ahihye wo fi a etia contrary to akan customary law eninti ekoba saade a na kire se wo mo ye ade a etia amamre ne amane ye to so biem an order of perpetual injunction restraining the defendants, their agents, assigned or privileged from organizing, performing, advertising, facilitating, or holding any further funeral, burial, or celebration of life ceremony in respect of the late Charles Kojofosu without the express consent and authority of the plaintiff. Or say, there was a rebium, I can be a say, Accra High Court, no, and not woman for injunction, and to bibia abusuan a immediate for no more sama woman. A person woman ye, and yes, one agent, you so me and call for nipa be idea be as advert. Bibia omo ye bia e kire se pesi ye bibia saade no celebration of life say a funeral say a burial ade bi on person omo ye bia e fatals Kojofosu say na ye di sie ho advert ho bibia no court no enfa injunction ento so we ye the plaintiff no de ode na asem akokota ye kusapanyi kofim so no hwese court no ebeye e de amano ye ka hunie ye ma o hwedo so pa an order of interim and or interlocutory injunction pending the final determination of this suit restraining the defendants from proceeding with the advertised event scheduled for March 2026 or any similar events. Abusapani Kofi so say what say court no ebetumi ede interim and answer interlocutory injunction na kire say apart from so open injunction ato so no wo hwe date no so ene bre be fra asem no a court no bibia yetumi de to so a friend say interim and interlocutory injunction na kire say ye de si ade na wo ye no ho kwan say bia date ne ben tianimani wo ya wo se open injunction mi de si kwan ansa na bi asem no yetumi ahwe aka enti court no hwe na March 2026 no wo muntumi fa interim and answer interlocutory injunction no ento so some ye be ya ho advert kura celebration of life bia ho advert kura no obi antumi nye na nkampese saade adwumadie no entumi maso nya no nko a similar event ade bia immediate family ananko format osama wo mu ebe try so wo ye dia father dumba ewu achi bia court no enhwe na wonsi kwan Abusuade aka hu biem or say an order restraining the defendant from soliciting or receiving donation from the public in the name of organizing any funeral or memorial ceremony for the deceased. Enti when so ade a court no Abusapani Kofi so ehwe se obetumi aboa na ade bia wo mu di besi enkofo a wasama wo mu kwan so wo ntumi nye kapre bakora mfi obi ho ana wo bia kora try say na blumba wunti no wo mu di be ye bibia mani pakora atuatua kapre ba no saade ye nso no court no nya mfansi wo mu kwan na kapre kora wo da blumba ho no obia entua amfa mu obia na obia nya bi Hey, cost including legal fees, ye try to apply any further orders that this honorable court may deem fit in the circumstance. Not just an amount to be a court, no, able to Edia Fahubiano, and also sono, womo, anybody who papa. Dated at Baba Jama and Associates in Accra, 6th day of February, lawyer for the plaintiff, not just a lawyer. Edema Abusapani Kofi de ode na asem court no lawyer edema de ode na asem court no wo sansa makrata yi so no FR0M Yala Esquire Baba Jama and Associate. Aha, no number. What sign wa ha? Kama. Ntiniema abusuapanyin ko fi so. Ehwe e de free court ho no. Eno no. Okay. Abusuafo enema bebre na ewom Madaroma. Wo ba ase ya. Wo ma trotro. Enema ahodo bi a enipa na wo mo de wo ma aba court no. Eno nso so no wo mo hwe se. Enema betumi akoso de ama wo mo. We ye de abusuapanyini wo hwehwe sa court no ebeye na obesi wo mo kwan. Na beboa ama aye ne de kwan bia so ana simple celebration of life o sede no mpese wo mo ye entumi enkoso ti abusuapanyini statement of claim no ebi ena makenkan ede ama no na aha nso so wa twotwo bi e wa ha sei statement of claim no ebi nso e wa ha ne no so yen kan bi kakra emfama mo. As I say, the plaintiff is the head of family of the Ekwana royal family of Pakoso and Insuta in the Ashanti region. The first defendants ye do di kan ya sama no ma remfi say first defendant was animu no maami akosu say wa fusu. The first defendant was pronounced as one of the customary wives of the late Charles Kojofusu, aka Dadrumba, by her ladyship, Miss Dorinda Asa. Oma trotro ewa ha data omo di pronounce sa de nyina ewa ha 28 November 2026 internet 2025 no bibi kakra ewa in a judgment delivered on 28th of November 2026. I have mistake akraba ho. Te abusuapanyin ko fi so lawyer for no ya na ma che ho no enso. Asam ne din 2025. Eti kakra wa ha eno no ewukuma ase. Ho de eno no. The atosumiensa, the second defendant is a member of Ekwana royal family of Pakoso and Insuta. Na kire se ofaya pokuno no ono so Ekwana abusua no oka ho. The third defendant is also a member of Ekwana family what in Germany ono so de wo mo atro de aka ho yenko the fourth one so kratai court kratai kire de obia nipa na o masaman no abusuapanyi ko film so asaman no o kire de obia. The fourth defendant is a self-styled evangelist who publicly holds himself out as an agent, spokesperson, or representative of the other defendants in respect of the acts complained of herein. Enti omo kire se fourth defendant no nipa o masama na otoso nan Papa Shi. Na Papa Shi ni so yobi a krata abusuapanyi kire se oye self-styled evangelist so bi a wono atamato no ho so se nyame afre no ene wasan so hold ne ho se wakasa de ma that number busuan no spokesperson ma abusuan ni mu bi ena kire se ode saa de na ege ne ho safo hene wokro yi mu yenko de to so nsien. The plaintiff avers that the late Charles Kojofosu, aka Dadrumba, was an internationally acclaimed Ghanaian musician and a royal member of the Ekwana royal family of Pakoso and Insuta. Abusuapanyi ko fi usu say samakrata imu no oditum say Dadrumba de hia prekope na onye ni paketwa nyuntuni kase ofiri Ekwana abusua wo Pakoso na afi Insuta. The plaintiff avers that the late Dadrumba passed away on the 26th of July 2025 at the Bank Hospital in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. Abusuapanyi Kofi Usu akwaka ne court ame de abakrata emu se oditum se Dadrumba Charles Kojofosu ohire ne nkwa July ne da na toso adi onunsia 2025 afrase ewo the Bank Hospital ewo Nkran. The plaintiff avers that Due to the internationally renowned stature of the late Dad Lumba, a funeral planning committee was duly instituted, comprising the third defendant, other members of the Ekwona family, representatives of the wives, musical institution, and traditional authorities, among others. Abusuapanyin Kofi so odina asma kokko to say ne nsama akrata yi mu no ogitum pa ye se Dad Lumba esanse no ye nipa kase na ne nyuma hyeta wiase nyina na ye recognize no international inti emra owu ye omo ye sombe ye yi no omo te bibi e friend say planning committee ye funeral planning committee na sa committee ni mu no wo mo de third respondent no eka ho anasa defendant no eka ho kyerese nipa a wasaman na otoso miensa ye maame Ernestina Fusu no wo mo de ne ka committee no ho enu achi ayere no mu a wo mo Dad Lumba ewu achi nsem ni mu no wo mo so representatives wo mo ka ho enkofo ya anyuntofo ko ni mu wo mo so no na bi ka ho ene ose traditional authorities ni nipa ahugbo bi na wo mo so eka ho ye to so nkono. The plaintiff avers that prior to the funeral and burial of the late Lumba, the first defendant instituted an action at the High Court, Kumasi, suit number ni nyina ewo ho. Suit number was J1 J12 2026. At omo a date ni de court on some 2025 and nyina mo in 2026. Meaning the I was a mistake. Seeking, among other, release an injunction to restrain the plaintiff as head of family from organizing the burial and funeral rites of the deceased. Or say, Emra Mubaba Dad Lumba ye ni mu ho. Enipa wa sama inu a wodi kan, maame akosua sewa. Ade ono abusuapanyin Kofi Usu, court. And what court no corny ade a odi number nyina aka ho dai court ye de court ni ade na eno no na de maame akosua se wo hwere ne se yemfa injunction to ono abusuapanyin Kofi Usu so se wontumi nya kwan na ne de hia wawu a Dad Lumba no ontumi nya na yi de to sudu. The plaintiff further avers that in the injunctive ruling delivered on 30th October 2025, I had a munya date me. The High Court, Kumasi suit number GJ 12 20 2026, dismisses the injunctive application and affirmed the plaintiff authority to organize, supervise, and approve all funeral and burial process of the deceased. Or say, onam kwanso anani abre sa on the injunction to so, injunction to so. On 30th October 2025, no High Court no it decided say abusuapanyin Kofi Usu otumi say o supervise o organize na wo hweto to bibia ma Dad Lumba ni sie ni na ayi no ono ehwe etumi koso de to so edu ba ko abusuapanyin won sam kapa. The plaintiff avers that subsequently the third defendant invoked the sacred oath of the Asante and summoned the plaintiff before the Asante Tribunal. The Asante Tribunal equally affirmed the plaintiff authority to organize and supervise the funeral and burial rites of the deceased. Or say, third defendants, nipa wasama no otoso miensa. Ewa Accra High Court maame Ernestina Fusu no. Ono so de ne ko eko kantam kese egu ni so. Oka otumfo ntam kese ya se Asanteman entam kese egu ni so. Ebe de ne ko mpanyimfo anim. Eho nso mpanyimfo ma ne tumi se ono na waso hwe no toto niema ema Dad Lumba ewuo ene ne yie etumi ekoso. De to sudum yenu. The plaintiff avers therefore that acting on the recommendations of the funeral planning committee, Asante Tribunal, and under his authority, supervision, and directions as head of the family, the final burial and funeral rites of the late Dad Lumba were duly performed on 13 December 2025 at Baba Yara Sports Stadium, Kumasi, after which the deceased was buried in accordance with Akan customary laws as a royal. Or say, I was answering the Niamasi Koya. Yadini koko PM ewa santiman tribunal ni ade adu nyina no empanyimfo hwe niamanu nyina no mo hu se e was that Lumba 13 December 2025 no wo mutumi hwe na wo musie no ampani ampa nso odi so na msuma that Lumba o se oya dehye entabusia panyi se wo fa aka na mamre so esie no sadehye dia ka hu biem. The plaintiff averts that the burial and funeral held on 13 December 2025 were publicly announced and widely attended by family members, traditional rulers. Any idea? And see, I was a panic confused to say, was it to it, say, Ebusiano? And she said, dear man, over ready so. Now, what about the rule? Ama a yeno, obia, etumia baby, Sadian and son. Oh, ye na pepe, actually say, one from Bibia. Enti abusia uhwe ni nyina mu a na kire se wo mo ade aba ba wie se maami akosua se wa fosu ya saman odikan ofa ya apoku a otoso mienu Ernestina fosu a otoso miensa na afei papa shi na ya wakosa a wono nso otoso eye enan wo ba ha se ya na kire se ya de chief justice ni stamp no etim so pan a kire se Ghana court ena ababe piem ewo montene so na date no 18th day of February 2026. Chief Justice of Ghana P Bafo Boni ni stamp no etim so den etabusuafo we nyina rate of sermons nsaman krata busuapanyi Kofi Usu de akoma maame akosua sewa afosu wono ne nsamani a odi kan busuapanyina sama no de otoso biem enso ofa ya apoku de otoso miensa maame na sina fosu na de otoso nan nana ya wakosa evangelist papa shi enti madaroma eje ebo omo kokota ko hwem omo kokota hwe ko eso omo otumi a omo koyese no. From this platform me kan siso amam se abusuapanyini anya atuanamon de abusua no court a wo kire se celebration of life no wo mu ni ho kwan so mutumi ye eyo no abusuapanyini nko a ene wotumi se oye ayie na wo supervise ayie na wo hwesie obi ema ayie koso so obi betumi ayi bibia yise tumi no efiri wo no abusuapanyini Kofi Usu ewo ho enti court no hwe de di kan fa injunction to so na ebra so kwa onfa interlocutory injunction na interim injunction entumi ento so kire se ekwan biya di kwa ombefa so etumi aye sa celebration of life no anase bibia e dia fa na Lumba na mpo kwa kire se so obi kra choice wo ye bibi wo da Lumba wa wudi mu betumi de kapra na sempo akra ama sa nipa no a eno so court no emfa bibi nto a ebesi saafo no egina ekwan enti abusuafo wei court nsam fofora abusuapanyi Kofi Usu esanso de aba de afa that Lumba celebration of life that Lumba immediate family no ene maami akosua sewa omo ye se omo no madaroma court esama wo a odia ne se obekọ we a lawyer for parties ni nyina o ma lawyer for betumi akodinam parties no nipa nan na asama wo no o ma lawyer for ebetumi akọ sanso no ma ya sama wo no so pa wo mo so betumi aka ho akọ enye huhu de abusuapanyini hwehwe ni nyina no aka no enna manya adaje akenkan ni nyina ma wo no te abusuapanyini kọ court no ko fa asam fufuro bi de ewo mu no ne hawo no makenkan ni nyina ma wo no enti wo so ayasama wo no ena nso beko akọkire de enti ade abusuapanyina kan edi kwan se editum ana edi kwan se court no ye ma no na wo nso akọkan wo de enti court asem no saa na tie afei ena nsaman na kọ ye nhwe se ma me brempoma ma me akosua sewa ofa ya apoku papa shi wo mo nso e de o ma appearance ne beko na afi ya hwe ba bia asem ni no ebesi akọ na yenhwe Ghana court gina yesi a obesi se abusuapanyin se de o kan wo kwan se osi obi a kwan so ntumi nya bibia efa dad lumba wawu no ni nuamo ene no wofafo ene immediate family no wo mu ni kwan so wo ye de nti wo mu ni kwan na awakire mu no se Ghana court so obedi atumu a sini awie ne behu chale se Ghana court te de abusuapanyin kofi so aka no emra makwan na immediate family de wawu no ne honkofo no mojamfo no enso otumi so mo organize bibia eye yi ana so mo organize bibia ewo nipa na wawu no achi a eno nso court no sini awie ye eni behu chale abusuafo ye nyina ye ni akire ye hwe ba bia nsusan e de bode hono no ebekwa akoguo frame the queen efia enima otu adabo ejebi bibi ebesi akire bia madaroma ebetena sintem na nyina abrem yankopon enkam nyina yakram